don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason. His body was never recovered from the lake after he drowned. And if you listen to the old-timers in town, they'll tell you he's still out there. Some sort of demented creature. Surviving in the wilderness. Full grown by now. Stalking. Stealing what he needs. Living off wild animals and vegetation. Some folks claim they've even seen him. Right in this area. The girl who survived that night at Camp Blood, that Friday the 13th, she claims she saw him.
In anticipation of the new Friday the 13th on DVDs coming out, not including that shitty remake, I'm going to do a review. I'm going to try to do a review for all the Friday the 13ths. I've already done the first one, and I've already done the shitty remake, so I thought I would do the other movies. Just so if any of you don't know out there, there is a 4, 5, and 6 are coming out in deluxe editions, and 2 and 3 are making their Blu-ray debut this Tuesday. So I thought I would do some reviews. So first one I'm going to talk about in this review is Part 2. And just so everyone knows, I'm going to be selling Part 2 and 3 to get my Blu-rays on Tuesday. So Part 2 starts 5 years after the original. Actually, no, I take that back. It takes the very beginning of the movie is right after the first one. And, well, according to the campfire tale later on in the movie. We see Adrienne King. She's killed off in the first 11 minutes, I think, 11 or 12 minutes of the movie. Basically flashback to the ending, reminding everyone of what the ending of the movie was. Then we jump forward 5 years to a new camp counselor training center that is on Crystal Lake, not that far away from where Camp Crystal Lake was. And it basically goes on from there. You know, they come up with some cheap way of getting most of the people out of the area by having them go party. They all survive. But then Jason, fully grown now and wearing a sack over his head with one hole cut out for his eye, starts killing off the people left and right at the Camp Counselor Training Center. I think Part 2 is probably one of the better ones. It's definitely not my second. The first one's my favorite. I'd say 6 is probably 6 and 7 are my next ones, and then 2 and 4. 2 is a really fantastic sequel. If they had just made 1 and 2, I mean, obviously 2 would be a fantastic sequel to the original one. You know, it's pretty much a direct continuation. We get to see Mrs. Voorhees one more time in kind of like a dream sequence sort of thing. Even though when I met Betsy Palmer, she claimed she never shot anything for the movie, even though we all know for a fact that she did. Whatever. But you know, seeing her again in the movie in the little dream sequence thing is really cool. The Jason sack over the head thing was kind of, you know, stupid in retrospect. I wasn't born when the second movie came out, so I can't tell you what it was like when they actually released the movie, if people thought it was dumb or not, but I think it's kind of stupid. But they hadn't introduced the hockey mask yet. That didn't come until Part 3. So I think overall it's a good movie. It introduces Jason as the killer, you know, gets away from Mrs. Voorhees because obviously she's dead. And basically it sets up what happens in the rest of the movies is that Jason kills to avenge his mother's death. And the reason, and avenge his own death too, because the reason that he died was because of people having sex. So anytime anyone has sex, they get killed by Jason. And then he's killing for his mother. So basically anyone who shows up at the camp site or anywhere near it gets killed off in, you know, to avenge his mother's death. 2 and 3, they weren't shot back to back, but they almost were, because 3 came out the following year, directed by the same director, Steve Miner. And I don't want to go too much into 3 because I'm going to do another review for that. But 2 it's got some pretty good death scenes. The scene where the people are killed having sex and the spear going through me. Even though that's not an original death scene that was in an Italian horror movie, which the name of it I can't remember. I've never seen the movie, but I've seen the scene. What else? The machete to the face and the guy in the wheelchair. The guy hung upside down, neck slit. I mean, it's pretty good movie. It's pretty good death scenes. And the ending is pretty good, even though the shock ending was kind of stupid. I mean, they were just kind of trying to copy the first movie. It didn't really work very well, but I guess it did what it was supposed to do. So, Part 2 is definitely a worthy movie, and definitely check that one out. And please continue to watch my videos, because I am going to do more. I'm going to try to do all 10 Friday the 13th movies in time, so thank you.